everyone, and welcome to All Things STEM with Ashley. I'm super excited about today's episode. We have Cydney White here with us. A little bit about today's guest, Cydney White. She is a powerhouse in business operations and digital transformation. Based in Dallas, Texas, Cydney brings a wealth of experience as a technical program manager, where she oversees a $400 million portfolio and aligns teams across product engineering and strategy to drive innovation at scale. She holds a degree in Management Information Systems from the University of Alabama and recently earned her MBA in Strategy and Entrepreneurship from SMU. Outside of her corporate role, Cydney is deeply committed to mentorship and representation. She is the founder of Census, a platform dedicated to putting diverse businesses on the map by spotlighting Black entrepreneurs and people of color and helping them gain access to capital, community, and opportunity. I'm so excited to have her on our show. Let's welcome Cydney. Hi.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
I'm so excited to be here, so thanks for the opportunity.
Of course. So we're going to get started and kind of learn about your journey. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey into where you are now?
Yeah, so I'm Cydney White. I born in Birmingham, Alabama, grew up in Memphis, Tennessee, and then went to the University of Alabama where I got my degree in Management Information Systems. After college, I made my way to Dallas, and I have been working for a large Fortune 50 telecom company for the last almost 8 years. Been a lot of great experiences, done a lot of different things throughout the business. Outside of work, I'm a 31-year-old,
Yeah.
a normal 31-year-old, and
Yeah.
I just do a lot of different things in and around Dallas exploring, and so that's me.
Gotcha. Thank you. So Cydney, I want to ask, what first sparked your interest in STEM, and how did you decide to pursue it as a career? Tell us your journey.
Yeah, so I feel like I kind of had an untraditional route to STEM because growing up, high school, middle school, math, science wasn't necessarily my strong suit.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I didn't do well, but I had to work at it, right? And so I was the one, my friends would like do their homework in class in 15 minutes, and like I'm going home sitting at the kitchen table for like an hour and a half, like, Dad, help me figure this out. So I was always stronger in English, history, things like that. So I never really considered STEM.
Right.
And then went to Bama, was kind of all over the place.
Okay.
So I started as a PR major, and then I went undecided for a while. Then I was like, okay, I'm gonna be a physical therapist. So I went to the biology school.
Okay.
No, that was not for me. And so then I went to the business school. And so I had an uncle at the time who was in, or not at the time, but is my uncle. Went to work for him when I got back to Memphis.
Okay.
He is in hospital administration. So I went, interned for him, and was like, okay, I'm going to do hospital administration. Went back to Bama for sophomore year and started taking some of the business classes. And then that summer they said, hey, by the way, we're going to revamp this program. So you've got to take a year off.
I didn't know that.
And I was like, what? I don't have time to take a year off.
Right.
And so just so happened that summer I was in Avanti, where I was on the freshman orientation team, working with the business school. So then I got to meet all of the different professors for each of the majors. And then I met the director for the MIS program. And so just got to talking to him, and he was just like, oh, this is the perfect program for you. You'll get hands-on experiences, and you'll get to work for different companies. And this is, when you get out of school, you're going to make this much money. We guarantee it for all of our students.
Right.
And I was like, okay, sign me up. I can do that. And so once I really got into it, I loved it. The classes were smaller. And overall, it was a great experience. So I think not everyone has to have that traditional route. Right. Like some people know, I'm going to be an engineer. Right. I'm going to do this. But sometimes you have to fall into things and just let God work.
I agree. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. So, Cydney, Can you share any role models or mentors who have influenced your journey in STEM?
Yeah, so I want to call out 2 mentors that I've had that have helped me be successful on my journey in corporate and in STEM. So, and as a Black woman, I think it's important that everyone has at least one white male mentor.
Okay.
And so my white male mentor has taught me so much, spoke my name in rooms when I wasn't there. And so I think that's super important.
It is.
And then second, and I saw this on TikTok the other day and I was like, oh my gosh, this is literally the best boss I've ever had. But when I was first starting out, this girl was saying like, you need a ghostwriter manager or ghostwriter mentor. And like what that is essentially when you first start working, you know, you come out of college and you're like, oh, I'm on my stuff.
Yeah.
I know how to do this. But then it's like, okay, well, we want you to send this executive brief, and then you just put it together and you think, oh, this is perfect.
Right.
But then your ghostwriter is like, send it to me first, and they will redline it and just teach you how to like speak that executive speak or put yourself in the best light. And they're not looking for the credit, but they're making sure that you essentially are putting your best foot forward. And so I had a manager like that really taught me how to move and think and how a leader thinks. And that has paid dividends in my career. Yeah. And then outside of people that I know directly, Morgan DeBond, she is the CEO of Blavity, Afrotech. She is just someone, as far as like what I aspire to be, is such a role model. She's an entrepreneur. She's really involved in tech. She is a woman, a mother, and she balances it all so well. And I'm actually reading her book right now.
That's
so
good.
I just think she's someone that everyone should follow.
Yes, y'all check her out. I'll put it in the show notes.
For sure.
We're going to do that in the show notes. Well, very cool. Thank you for sharing that. Now, can you share with us, were there any challenges you faced growing up that made pursuing a STEM career difficult? I know you spoke about already the math and science homework and things like that. Were there any other obstacles in your journey you had to overcome?
I think that I wouldn't say when we talk about obstacles in the traditional sense, like, you know, I came from a pretty stable home. I lived a life of privilege, but I do think that as far as pursuing STEM, it was more so the exposure that I didn't have that exposure to know what careers I could do with a STEM background, or like what was even MIS or anything that like would have steered me in this direction. I didn't necessarily have that exposure. Right. So I think things like what you're doing with all things STEM is so important.
Thank you. Yeah. That's so true, because we don't know, and it's like, okay, I'm getting this degree, now what? Yeah. What roles are there? It doesn't have to be like everyone in civil doesn't have to build bridges and buildings. There's other parts of it, the conceptual design, things like that, the behind the scenes, the office day-to-day, securing contracts. But you think, oh, I have to go build a bridge or a house. So yeah, thank you.
And I think that's why it took me so long in college to figure out.
But that's good.
Because I had to bounce around and actually try every single thing and like get immersed in it and be like, oh, actually, I don't want to do this. So.
Right, but that's good. Before you just got a degree in something and hated it forever. Yeah. You know? Yeah. So that's good. So now I want to get into, if you could explain an overview of what MIS is and what it entails.
So MIS stands for Management Information Systems. You might see it as CIS, which is Computer Information Systems. BIS, my sister has a degree in BIS from Mississippi State, which is essentially Management Information Systems. And so really MIS is the intersection of business and technology. So how it was explained to me when I was in college is like, here's the V, business technology, and then MIS is like everything in between that kind of bridges that gap.
Yeah. So, thank you. That's awesome. Cydney, thank you for giving us an overview of what MIS is. That was wonderful. And it's true that so many people don't know what it actually entails. And like you said, there's so many different names. So I'm glad you got to share that with us. I now want to get into your accomplishments.
Okay.
So I want to ask, what is one project or accomplishment you're particularly proud of during your STEM career or journey? It could be anywhere, high school to now, or even middle school.
So one project that I really, really loved and enjoyed in my career is I helped roll out Salesforce at my company.
Okay.
And we also did the third-party tools that integrated into Salesforce. So essentially, I got to build the sales tool stack for my company.
Yeah.
And I loved it so much because I really got to become immersed with my end users. So I really got to know the sales teams and really got to work with the leaders and seeing, I manage the college hire sales program. So people coming in straight from college, didn't know anything about selling, but being able to use the tools to be selling in 2 weeks, to working with more seasoned sellers that might have been struggling, weren't hitting their quota, and then saying, hey, this is what this does, this is how it's going to help you be more efficient in your day-to-day. And seeing them get off a plan and start meeting their quota, like that to me was such a rewarding experience. Now it was challenging because it's hard to get people to change their habits. Change management is a whole thing. But within that first year, we were able to influence $80 million in revenue just with the sellers that were on the platforms, and then we went to scale. And so that was one of my favorite ones just because I'm a people person. And so getting the opportunity to get out and really talk and understand people's pain points has been something that I really enjoy.
That's amazing. Congrats on that. That's amazing. So now I'm going to get back to MIS. Okay. We see AI everywhere today. Artificial intelligence is everywhere we look. It's on Google on our phones. It's working with self-driving cars. How do you believe that emerging technologies such as AI will shape the future of management information systems?
I think AI is going to allow us to be more strategic and think more strategically instead of doing the, I guess, mundane things of updating tasks and doing different things in systems. Like, for example, I manage the roadmap at my company. And so I'm working all the time with different teams, whether they're in product or engineering, and said, hey, what's your date? What's your date? What color is this? And I think that it would be, AI is going to help us. For example, was in a meeting this 2 weeks ago, working with our AI team. That, hey, can we create an AI agent that looks at historical data and can predict, based on the type of project, how long this should take? So now I'm not relying on people to put in dates. I'm relying on AI to give me a date and predict it. And then I just need a person to validate that that information is correct. And now I'm not waiting on people to give me information. I'm able to predict, and now I'm able to strategize. And so I think that's how AI is going to move us, because we're less reliant on people for information, but we're still going to need those people to be strategic to change how things work within a company.
That's amazing. That's so on it. And that's
so,
a real life example. That's what a lot of companies are looking into. How can we utilize it and still have a person for the minimal tasking within it?
For sure.
So now I want to talk about how it interacts with other disciplines. So I know MIS is super great because it's between business and technology, but how does it interact with other disciplines such as computer science, mechanical engineering, or civil engineering?
So MIS is pretty broad in who we get to work with. So I typically work with product engineering when it comes to computer science or software developers. But when it comes to mechanical or civil engineering, I don't do as much work with those disciplines. However, I think it just depends on the company and the project. So And I guess an example I could use is when I first started out at my company, I worked in construction engineering.
Okay.
And so I was in a warehouse working on things like process improvement and figuring out how I can bring technology into the warehouse, because a lot of times there's some lag there as far as getting them up to speed on doing things more tech forward. So I think it just depends.
Yeah.
Everyone has a different story.
Yes.
And that's the good thing about MIS, that you get to do a lot of different things. I think MIS is just like that stepping stone or launch pad.
Yeah.
And you get to kind of define which route you want to go.
Good. Thank you. So again, we just talked about how it was broad and can work with a lot of different fields. But what are some different career paths within MIS that people might not be aware of?
Yeah, so I think people go a lot of different ways, like I said. So I have a friend that was in the MIS program with me that is in cybersecurity.
Yeah.
People that work in data governance, people that go on to be hardcore software engineers. I have a friend that just launched an app that went through MIS with me, that coded his own app and is now an entrepreneur.
Yeah. That's cool.
Other one, tech consulting is big. A lot of people that come out of the MIS program go into consulting.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really great way to go as well, especially just starting out, because you get a lot of different experience working on a lot of different projects. So I feel like the sky's the limit.
That's good. Thank you. So now the audience knows all the different things that are possible. So that's great. Now, we already talked about how AI changes things. How do you see the field of MIS evolving over the next 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, like I said, I think that we're going to become more thought leaders. I think consulting will be playing more of the consultant role, helping companies to think strategically and think about their bottom line and how they can implement technology and do certain things to get to their end goal, versus, like I said, doing the nitty gritty of updating dates and doing all these different things. It's going to more so be like strategic, broad, and I will say that it also depends again on the company that you're at, because how a FANG company does it versus a Fortune 500 that's been around for 100 years. It's not always apples to apples.
It's not.
But I do think that we're going to become more strategic leaders versus the people doing.
Yeah. I love it. Thank you. You've had such a great journey. It's been so great hearing everything about it, your gems, your tips for success. I want to ask how you transitioned into the program management role and tips for navigating that change.
Yeah, so I would say that my transition into program management was pretty natural, just because I came into my company through a rotational program.
Yeah.
And so the program was actually a 3-year program. Now at my company, I don't think it's as long, which for me worked out, because I had a lot of time to really get immersed in a lot of different areas.
Yeah.
And then the things that I didn't like, I was like, okay, see y'all later.
Yeah.
But I came in and I started working in the construction engineering warehouse, which I did not like.
Yeah.
But with MIS, I was able to start working and improving processes, and then learn a lot about the company culture, how to navigate, and then move on to the program management role. And with MIS, already had those tools in my toolkit per se.
Yeah.
So that's what made it pretty easy to transition. So I always tell people that if you want to get into program management and maybe the role isn't available, start with the company and just try and get your foot in the door, because I think pivoting is always possible.
Absolutely. Excellent. Thank you. So now we're going to lean into your personal business.
Okay.
And tell us what the name is again.
Census.
Census.
Yes.
Thank you. So tell us about your business, Census.
So Census is a membership community and digital platform that highlights and connects diverse founders to mentorship, investors, and just resources in general to help them develop their businesses better.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's needed.
Yeah,
it's
for
very
sure.
needed. So that's wonderful that you saw a need and build it. So what motivated you to start your business?
Yes, so a little bit of a story. But so in 2022, I went to Afrotech. And I went initially looking to explore the Career Expo and just see, what else is out there. And I just started meeting all these founders that were just really out there grinding, building the thing.
Yeah.
And so at the time, I was in business school.
Yeah.
And so I came back and I was thinking, I want to work with startups and I want to help get them funded and I want to help them build their thing. And so I was learning more about venture capital and at the time, just a lot of the stats that were coming out were like, less than 1% of Black founders get VC dollars, less than 2% of women get VC dollars. Yeah. And I was just like, I want to do something that can help me be a part of the change. And so wanted to get into VC or at least try and learn more about it. And so I was paired up with a mentor through school, a local venture capitalist. And I went to him, was like, I want to learn more about venture capital and I want to see more Black founders get funded. Yeah. And he was just kind of like, well, that's not really a problem. And he literally said that if a founder can't get in front of me, they don't have grit. And I was thinking to myself, Black people are the people with the most grit. Right. So I don't believe that at all. I just think that they don't have the access or the network to get in front of the right people. And so I found myself, as I was trying to learn more, kind of facing what I believe a founder would face. Being like, this is our bubble. Yeah. What are you doing trying to get in here and learn more? Right. And so I thought to myself, okay, well, what if I build something that brings the people to me? And so essentially what we're doing is building a census. So I'm starting with getting founders on the platform, working to get angel investors on the platform. Our end goal is to start doing some matching using AI so that you as a founder can come on and put your profile in and say what you're looking for. And if there's an investor there, let's match them. And the investors on the platform ultimately will have our end goal of seeing more women and Black people funded. Excuse me. But then also the other part of it is just highlighting. And if I can highlight someone and highlight their business and help them get a few more customers to sustain their business, that's a win for me. And so that's really what Census is about. It is a passion project. Where I'm just really like putting my all into, let's change the narrative about Black-owned businesses, women-owned businesses. I want to see more succeed. And I think that these are some of the best businesses. And a lot of times when investors invest in diversity, they win. Yeah. So it's a win-win for them. Yeah. They're just the ones that don't invest. That's their problem. You're right.
Good. Yeah. I love it. That's super great. Like in the journey, and then like how you met someone in venture capital and you spoke up and it's like it's not just about grit. It's more to it.
Yeah, and I would say the one thing about me, which can be good and bad sometimes, but if somebody tells me no, like, it's on. Yeah, that's good. I feel like Census is like my little piece of the pie and fixing the problem. And I know that it's a systemic issue that I can't solve alone, but it's me raising my hand to help.
Yes, I love it. So where can others find out more about Census? Tell us about your platforms. What are you on? What is it called? And I'll also put in the show notes, but just to say it.
Yeah, so Census.io on IG, TikTok, Instagram, and Census.io is also our website. So I try to keep it pretty simple so you can find us pretty much everywhere.
Perfect. And spell it out one more time.
Census, CYNSUS.
Okay, thank you. because we will be on a podcast by the time your episode airs, so I need people to hear it.
Yes.
Well, that's excellent. So now we're going to get to how you balance your career and your personal business. So how do you manage work-life balance with a demanding STEM career and still get to build your own business? Tell us about that and navigating it.
I think work-life balance is tricky.
Yeah.
Because it's tough. And I think that I've had to establish more boundaries.
Yeah.
And because I would say probably 3 or 4 years ago, I was probably the most burnt out I've been. Mm-hmm. Stress has been hurting my health. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, time to reevaluate and really get clear on my boundaries when it comes to work. And so it's crazy because I know everyone's saying like, oh, I don't want to be back in the office, but it's actually helped me a lot with establishing boundaries because I go to the office, I get what I need to get done, I'm strategic about it, I'm on it, and then I try to leave work there if I can. Yeah. So that when I come home, I'm able to really pursue what it is that I want to pursue outside of work. And I think that it's doable and we can have it all and do it all. It's just we have to first believe that we can.
Yes.
And then 2, just set up the systems to help us do it and stick to it. Yeah. So, and I have told one of my bosses recently, like, when I'm out of here, I'm not checking that. Yeah. So let's do it now.
Yeah. That's
and
good,
so
though. That's balance.
Being able to communicate that, where earlier in my career I didn't, I was always just like, oh my gosh, like, if I don't. Yeah. And I think another thing, too, that I realized is grinding. No one's going to tell you to stop working. So.
Till your body shuts down on you and you have to.
Your body will tell you, but if your VP is, you're working, and they're still getting everything they need, they're not going to be like, they're just like, okay,
take a break. They're not going to be like, take a break.
Yeah.
You've done
so it's just one of those things that, and then, which I'm kind of going a couple of different ways with this, but, and then you still may not get rewarded for doing all of that. And so you'll see people that might be doing less than you getting promoted quicker or whatever. So I think that what's for you will be for you and you don't have to kill yourself doing it. Right. And so that's something that I've learned. Yes. And it definitely took me some time to get there. I think things come with age.
I do too.
But
it's good. And now we know.
I can try and tell the world.
Tell y'all, because
sooner, maybe somebody will get it sooner than me. And I think my sister is 26? She's Gen Z, and they're a whole different breed.
They get it, honey.
They get it. They got it already. And I'm like, teach me your ways.
Here's my boundary. You can hop across it if you want to, but it's not going to do nothing for me.
Yeah, so honestly, get a Gen Zer in your life. They'll teach you a lot.
That's good. Thank you, Cydney. You told us about senses. What is some advice you would give to those that want to start a business?
I would definitely say start with your why. I think, and for me, I've always been like, oh, I want to have my own business. Yeah. And the things that I've done before now have been because I'm trying to make some money. Right. And I'm not saying that that's not good. Right. But in order to stay committed and see it through, you have to know why you're doing it. Because there are going to be times when you're just like, why am I doing this? And then being able to go back to that and say, this is why, this feeling, I want people to be included. I want people to be able to fund their businesses. Like, this is my why, right? Right. So knowing your why. And like I said, I'm reading Morgan Vaughn's book, and she talks about your passion principle and like figuring out what it is that you're passionate about, because that is what's going to sustain you to go the distance. And so essentially start with your why, and then also I have a couple different things. Second thing is, a lot of times I think as Black people, we're like, I've got to keep my business to myself because somebody's going to steal my idea. But it wasn't until I actually like spoke the thing
Mm-hmm.
that I started getting the feedback that I needed to refine.
Yes.
So people think that people will steal their idea, but it's all about execution.
Mm-hmm.
Those people have to have the desire to go execute on your thing,
Yes.
which, believe it or not, is a lot
It
of effort. So,
Yes.
that, and then 2, don't be afraid to pivot. I'm even doing some pivoting in my business right now, and it's all been because of feedback and talking to people. And the beginning stages is the perfect time to pivot because you haven't amassed the following of 1 million people that have eyes on what you're doing. Like, you can pivot and keep moving, and it's going to be okay.
Yes.
And so I would just say, like I said, start with your why.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be afraid to pivot, and then tell people about what you're building.
Yes, I love it. So many great gems. Okay. I want her here every week. I want her on a new topic every week. Okay. Okay. Well, awesome. Thank you for that. We're gonna get back into some more advice.
Okay.
But I wanted to ask you, what's the best piece of career advice you've received so far, and how has it shaped your path?
There have been a lot of different things that I've gotten advice. I mean, I'll just use phrases, I guess.
Yeah.
Stay curious.
Uh-huh.
Inspect what you expect.
Uh-huh.
So hold people accountable.
Yeah.
Don't let them just go all willy-nilly.
Right.
And then be like, oh, why did I get this? Because you didn't inspect them.
Right.
In order to get what you want, you have to keep your eyes on what people are doing.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
Those are good. That's good.
I feel like in my mind I had a whole lot, but
That's okay.
but yeah, I think those are some that no is a full sentence.
Yes. That is real. That is real.
So there's a lot I could go on, but I do think that holding people accountable and staying curious and not just being stagnant,
Mm-hmm.
and especially in tech, it's
Yeah.
easy to be like, oh, I'm not going to go learn about AI. Well,
Mhm.
you don't go learn about AI, you're not going to have a job.
Mm-hmm.
And so staying curious helps you fuel that passion to keep learning.
Yeah, thank you. So now I want to talk about looking back.
Okay.
Looking back, is there anything you would have done differently in your STEM journey? And you don't have to have anything, but sometimes people just be like, I wish I had done this.
I mean, I'm someone that believes everything happens for a
Yes,
reason,
same.
but I think that I would just own it a little bit more,
Mm-hmm.
because I think when I first came in, again, kind of talking about STEM and not really necessarily seeing myself as someone in STEM,
Mm-hmm.
but now I'm able to say I'm a woman in STEM.
Yes.
I am a business owner. Like,
Yes.
being able to speak with authority
Yes.
and know who you are
Yes.
and own that when you walk in the room. I wish I would have done that so much earlier.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's something I need to start doing. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
You're helping me. Okay. So now I want to get into involvement and encouraging the next generation of STEM leaders. Have you been involved in any initiatives or programs to encourage young women or underrepresented groups to pursue STEM fields?
I definitely think this is something that I could do more in.
Okay.
I've done some mentoring through
Yeah.
work and just groups that I'm involved in, but I'd
Mhm.
like to do it more consistently. And then also last year I sponsored someone, just felt on my own heart to send someone to Black Men in Tech
Yeah.
to go to that conference, experience that, go to their job fair. And so I'd like to do more things like that where I'm able to just provide opportunities for people to get that exposure that I'm speaking about.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So Cydney, before we close today, I want to ask, what are 3 tips for success in navigating the STEM industry or a STEM journey?
So again, I would say stay curious. In the STEM field, everything's changing. So much new technology is coming out all the time that you have to stay curious and keep learning. And if you don't have a skill, don't be afraid to go get that certification or find someone that can help you learn. 2, get your mentors, build your network. It's going to be those people that speak your names in the rooms that you're not in, or even your peer network is important. I have friends that will text and be like, hey, I'm going to this conference, let's go together.
Yeah.
And so having those people that push you to keep staying curious and learning and staying on top of the things that you need to know. And then again, in STEM, be adaptable. The only constant is change.
Yes.
And so I think those are the big ones.
That's good. Yeah. I love it. Thank you. And now to close out today, I want to ask, what is next for you in your career and your business, and what do you hope to achieve in the future?
Yeah, so I plan to keep working on Census and growing it, and I want to see it really start affecting people of color and how they grow their business. I want people to know that Census is a place that they can come to get the support that they need for their businesses. So that's really the big goal here lately. And then obviously keep growing in my career. I don't necessarily aspire right now to just quit my job and become an entrepreneur full time. I really enjoy doing both and being able to be in an environment where I'm learning and able to maybe even apply some of those things to my own business. So I set my goals at work and hope to see myself maybe leading a bigger team at some point. But that's where I'm at.
Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing with us. Thank you for exploring with us and being here today as a guest. I appreciate your time. I'm so excited for the audience to learn all the great wisdom you just shared with us. So thank you for coming today. Are there any last things you would like to say before we close?
No, just thank you for having me. This is such a great platform. So if you're out there listening and think that you can provide some value, please hit up Miss Ashley to get on the show, because this is a great experience.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Everyone, please like, subscribe, and comment, and keep watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.